Sponge Plunge. Hello everybody, Narashima Kusumali Warga here with Muhammad Fadil Maulana Huda and Arsanti Kusuma Dewi. Welcome to our journey into the underwater realm of Porifera, or as we commonly know them, sponges. Unlike the famous SpongeBob, these creatures do not reside in a pineapple under the sea. However, they are indeed the oldest multicellular beings on our planet and vital engineers of marine ecosystems. Today we're set to unravel the mysteries of these amazing organisms, so let's dive in. To begin with, what are poriferas? Porifera or sponges are a unique phylum of aquatic creatures that have graced the Earth's water for over 600 million years. They are multicellular organisms with bodies full of pores and channels, allowing water to circulate through them, consisting of jelly-like mesophyll sandwiched between two thin layers of cells. The name Porifera comes from Latin, meaning pore bearer, a nod to the myriad of pores covering their bodies. Moving along, did you know that there are approximately 5,000 living sponge species classified in the phylum Porifera, which is composed of many kinds of Porifera, but are distinct to three groups only, starting with the Hexatenellida. These are large sponges with six-rayed glossy spicules. These spicules can grow up to 30 centimeters. They inhabit the deep layers of the sea, have finger-like canals, and possess some inorganic materials. Their shape resembles a cup or vase. An example of this would be the Venus flower basket. Moving along, we have the Demospongiae, which are the most abundant in population compared to the other two, without the third one being mentioned yet. They live at various depths of the sea. Their colors correspond to the depth at which they live and the pigment granules present. The skeleton may or may not be present, and the body will be either round or flattened in shape. Examples to this would be the giant barrel sponge. Moving along, and finally we have the Calcarea. These are sponges that live in shallow waters and are small in size. They have cylindrical shape due to their spicules that form a skeleton. An example to this species would be Calcaronia. Now then, sponges possess a simple yet efficient body plan. Their bodies are riddled with pores called ostia, leading to internal channels and chambers. Central to the sponge's survival is its water current system, an intricate work designed for feeding, respiration, and excretion. Now, important things to mention here are minuscule ostia perforate the sponge's surface, allowing water to permeate its body. And within conocytes, conocyte collars, cells equipped with flagella trap nutrients and oxygen from the water. With the oscula, it expels water that exits through the osculum, completing the cycle vital to the sponge's existence. Furthermore, a sponge's body is composed of a dual-layered wall, which layer serving a distinct purpose in the organism's physiology. Moving along, we got the outermost layer of the pinocoderm, which serves as a protective barrier, and we have the choanoderm beneath the choanoderm, where collar cells reside, orchestrating the flow of water. And finally, we got the mesophyll. Interposed between these layers is the mesophyll. It is a gelatinous matrix harboring cells that perform various functions.
Now, let's talk about their habitats. Where do the sponge live? Although they look like a boring, mobile animals, they have already explored the entire Earth ocean. You can find this creature in almost every aquatic ecosystem. From the warm tropical sea to the freezing cold Arctic Ocean, From the sun-drenched shallow of coral reef to the dark depth near hydrothermal vents. Some of them even live in fresh waters. They are dead, adding their unique flair to every aquatic sense. Like all living beings, sponges need food. So, how do they get the nutrition they need, considering they can move freely? This is where the unique shape of sponge comes into play. Unlike animals with mouths and stomachs, sponges rely on a remarkable strategy called filter feeding. Imagine the sponge as a living water filter. Tiny holes, called ostia, act like openings, allowing water to flow through the sponge body. Inside live special cells called choanocytes. These amazing cells have a tiny whip, called flagellum, that beats constantly, creating a current. Around it is a collar that traps food particles like plankton and bacteria. As the flagellum beats, it pulls water through the collar. The collar acts like a net, catching tiny food particles that the sponge can then digest. Now, how do these amazing creatures survive in such diverse place? One of their efforts to achieve this is through their reproduction system. Most sponges are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female parts. During sexual reproduction, sponges release sperm cells into the water. These tiny swimmers travel with the current, hoping to find eggs. Some sponges keep their eggs inside, while others release them into the water. When a sperm meets an egg, fertilization happens. The fertilized egg develops into a larva, a tiny free-swimming sponge baby. After a while, the larva finds a good spot on the ocean floor and settles down. Then, it transforms into a brand new sponge, continuing the family line. But wait, there's more. Sponge can also reproduce asexually, or without a partner. One way is through budding. Imagine a tiny sponge growing on the side of its parent, eventually breaking off to become its own little sponge. Another trick is through fragmentation. If a piece of a sponge breaks off, by accident or because of a neighboring fish, that piece can actually grow into a whole new sponge. So, sponge can reproduce both sexually and asexually. This double strategy allows them to adapt to different situations and ensures their continued success in the vast ocean world.
So next, we're gonna talk about sponge symbiotic relationships. Sponge often engage in symbiotic relationships with a variety of microorganisms. The first one is bacteria and sponge. Sponge have helpful bacteria living inside them. These bacteria do important jobs like fixing nitrogens and breaking down food. In return, sponge give bacteria a comfy home and food. The second one is algae and sponge. Some sponge team up with algae. Algae use sunlight to make food, which sponge shares. Sponge protect algae and give them a cozy place to live. So what is the function sponge from human? Humans have utilized sponge for millennia, not only as cleaning tools but also as sources of bioactive compounds for modern medicines. Scientists are looking at these sponge compounds to see if they can make new medicines. Some of these compounds can kill bacteria or viruses, which is great for fighting infections. Some sponge compounds could be the key to make new antibiotics. They are strong enough to kill even the tough bacteria that don't respond to regular antibiotics anymore. Otherwise, some sponge compounds also seem to be able to fight cancer cells. They can stop cancer cells from growing or even make them die, which could be a big help in treating cancers. For now, scientists is still exploring the oceans to find more sponge compounds. New tools and techniques help them find and study these special compounds faster than ever before. Sponges are not just simple creatures of the sea, they are complex and vital components of the marine world. Their unique biology and ecological roles make them indispensable for the health of our oceans. As we continue to explore the depths, sponges will undoubtedly reveal more of their secrets. Thanks for watching our Porifera studies video. These tiny sea creatures may seem simple, but they're crucial for our oceans. Let's keep exploring and learning about them together. By understanding Porifera better, we can help protect our oceans for the futures. Keep diving in and discovering more with us. Thank you!